What becomes available to you if you take the pressure off of your passion? I see so many driven creatives who put so much pressure on their creative passion and call it ambition, when instead it's really them just being in these survival patterns of hypervigilance, of fight or flight, or I better people please everyone to make sure it's safe for me to express myself, and wonder why they're not creating the true depth, abundance, and impact that they crave. So in this video, I really want to break down that sort of pattern of pressuring your passion and hiding behind ambition as a creative. And my hopes is that by the end of this video, you can crack open and liberate yourself from those old survival patterns and step into a more connected and regulated way of expressing yourself. And if you're new here, my name's Kev, and I help ambitious creatives get out of their heads and into their bodies, because that is the only place that anything real and authentic ever happens. Let's just face it, right? I myself am someone who is very ambitious. I can get really cantankerous and rigid about my ambition, but I'm very ambitious nonetheless. And the pattern that's played out in my life often is I have clenched around my ambition, used what I called my creative fire and passion to sort of force my way through life, and wondered why I always felt one step away from what I wanted, or like the carrot was always dangling, or wondering why I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, just barely surviving. Well, I'm here to say that it's because despite that sort of bigness that I thought I was playing with, what was really happening underneath it all was this deep survival pattern. For me, it's hypervigilance. It's constantly looking for threats and trying to solve them every single moment of my life. And this could even be in my creative business, right? But if I'm looking around the world, constantly vigilant, looking for something to be wrong because something must be wrong because that's just life, old worldview, all of my energy is going towards that seeking, is that dispersing of my energy out into the field to detect a threat. Now, it's not hard to sort of do the math and wonder where my deep power is going. Instead of it being directed into meaningful directions with my creativity, it's leaking out of me because I'm operating in fear. I think that there's something wrong. I'm waiting for something to break. I'm clenching, embracing, and my nervous system is responding, and I'm physiologically having these impacts. I'm not digesting food. I'm not sleeping. All of these things, right? The cascade is so real. And I'm here to say that it's okay if this is how you've been operating. I see most people who are ambitious, entrepreneurs especially, fall into this category. But we can take a step back and we can create a process of deconstructing those survival patterns and rewiring a new pattern. And it's called nervous system safety, right? Really deeply attuning to your own body. Getting really clear on the why so that the how becomes much, much more authentic and connected. Because if I really want to be ambitious because I really want to make some money so that I don't have to worry about these problems anymore, that's not an embodied how. It's okay to want all of the abundance, right? But if I'm wanting all of that so that I'm saved from my current scenario, the how is still rooted in fear and survival, right? It's not until I reconcile that and get really grounded, wide open, that I even can entertain the idea of feeling whole and content now, which is going to create the energy, the level of embodied energy and magnetism that all happens on a felt level that can't really be articulated. That is the prerequisite to actually creating that abundance, right? So until I take a step out of that pattern, which is hard, we can't see our own ass sometimes. I know it's crude. It takes a mirror, whether that's a other person, a relationship, a mentor who's ahead of you, or circumstance to smack you down and be like, whoa, I've been operating in survival for 10 years. My creativity has been so dysregulated. I've been creating from fear, just trying to survive for the last 10 years. No wonder I wasn't X, Y, and Z, whatever those stories are. And so what happens when we can observe that, accept it, not deny it, because we need to accept that this is how we've been operating, and accept the emotions that might be there, the anger, the resentment, why the fuck did I do that? Oh, I was so... All of that has to be loved and welcomed. Maybe the grief, right? And then once we start to clear some of that channel, we give our passion more space. Because your creative brilliance is there. Your passion is strong. It's when we kind of clench it and push it down with this survival patterns, with this hypervigilance, with this fight or flight, with this, if I don't make it, that energy doesn't give spaciousness for your passion to really expand, to find fertile soil so that it can get deep roots and grow, right? It's like the seed that you plant and then you keep digging up every day and shame it for not growing. Silly example, but it is so true. I've been doing this every single day. Why is it I'm not? It's kind of self-evident when we get radically honest. So when we create that space, we have felt some of the real repressed, blocked energy, that is the gunk and the stories and the shame and the whatever. When we start to clear that by accepting it, feeling it, loving it, releasing it, we get access to this spaciousness. So our pressure, our passion, instead of being in a pressure cooker, now has space to fill a wider container. And we also gain access to just to a level of clarity that doesn't have the story and the shame in it. Which from that place, we get more purpose and direction available to us, right? When we take the pressure off our passion and we actually get to feel our passion again, not just think about it, feel passionate when we create, feel how I'm creating feels good right now. I have some structure. I have the times that's like Tuesday and Thursday from 12 to 5. I get to do whatever it is. You need structure. Go watch my other videos on that. But when you have that structure, you can just soften and open inside of it and create again without the expectation. Now you start cooking with oil, right? Now your ambition, instead of clenching around your passion and narrowing it, gets to open, and this deeper energy becomes available to you. And it not only becomes more sustainable, it also might start to feel good. You're still going to have resistance. You're still going to have the patterns that creep in, but now you at least have a bit of a fighting chance because you've created some space between how you are now and how you used to be. And you're still going to revert to old patterns, of course. Give yourself grace. But you get the conscious moment to at least pause and have a little bit more expression of agency. Like I notice myself being hypervigilant. I'm creating this project and I'm just waiting for things to break before they've even broken. Let me pause. Let me go for a walk this afternoon. Let me just breathe. Let me communicate with who I need to communicate with so that I can come back to this sense of embodied safety. And now let me create from that place. This feels so much better because I'm not clenching. Most people don't realize that they go most of their days clenching their jaw or literally holding tension in their hips, or just clenching their butt even, your hips and your jaw are connected. And that's energy that's stuck and frozen, that's essentially dying at the same rate as it's boiling over, When we give our passions space, we have this openness that allows us to stay connected to our feelings, that allows us to move more fluidly in our creative expressions, and allows us to engage the world in a way that's more authentic and genuine. All of which is the direction our ambition wants to go. Our ambition wants open range. It wants that open field and that clear direction, but the pressure off to just be heart open. It doesn't want the clench. Ambition needs challenge, but we don't need to clench around that, right? And we certainly don't need to force our passion to meet the needs that our old patterns are already projecting are going to play out. Something's going to break, so I got to solve it now. Or someone's going to reject me, and then I'm going to, whatever those stories are for you. We can take the pressure off our passions, be in our ambition, and create from a place of spaciousness that doesn't have those survival patterns in them. And when those do arise, that desire to, I really want to people please, or I find myself being a perfectionist, or I'm really, really procrastinating, we now have a reference point to pause, breathe, return back to that place of openness, take the pressure off for a second, and take the step forward that feels most right and true now. There's no wrong way to do it. The only wrong way is just clenching. Take the step that feels most true and then recalibrate and then move and then recalibrate and then move. Breathing, staying connected, realizing where you're clenching and putting pressure on yourself so that you can soften there. That's what's going to lead to creating a really remarkable creative process for you. And so if you want help taking this process deeper, more specifics, and having real-world experiments that you can start running today, I invite you to check out the Embodied Creator Toolkit. You can also sign up for my free newsletter. That's a great resource. And be sure to subscribe because I want to see more of you. And because of that, because you're going to subscribe, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.